Hi everybody, ChickenBrad here. Happy New Year, last day of the 2010. And I haven't had any videos, haven't been playing at all in a while. Part of the reason I've been playing a little bit, but haven't had any videos is because I really haven't felt like I've had a lot to show you. I have been improving a little bit, but I just didn't feel like there was much that I could contribute. I suppose I could show more videos to help beginners, but as I was increasing my chess knowledge, I wanted to increase the depth of my videos, so I haven't had a lot of that, but I'm playing in a tournament here coming up. It's the first tournament I've played in. It's going to be on the free internet chess server, and I've got a team right now of players all over the world. One from India, one from Poland, another from France, and then another from either Australia or New Zealand. I can't remember, I'm sorry. And myself from the United States, so pretty wide range of players, between 20 and 30s. So I've been practicing a little bit for that here in a 20-minute game, and this didn't really help me much at all because we were blitzing through a lot of it, and I need to stop and kind of spend more time on my moves, but it's difficult to do that for some reason on the computer for me, maybe more over the board practice. But anyway, so let's get that game started. He opened with e4, and sorry, my buttons aren't working so well to run through the moves, so I'm going to have to move them out as it was played. I played Sicilian defense, c5, and he decides to go into a main line by playing knight to f3, e6, e4, capture, recapture, and then knight up to f5, f6. So he defends the pawn, and then here I have a lot of ways to go to decide where I want to take the game. I've been playing an accelerated dragon here a lot, just fianchettoing this bishop right away and castling. But I think just going right into that line and committing myself to having my king on the king side, and all my other minor pieces over on this side of the board has caused me a lot of problems with these pawn storms. I've won and lost some games, but I usually have to fight my way out of a bind in the beginning, which I was kind of tired of. So I decided to go into something different, and just played knight to c6, which is a decent option here. He comes down and pins the knight, and I really only have one move here, because if I play anything else besides this bishop to d7 move, I end up losing a piece. So, or an exchange at least. So I have to play that. And now he decides to, I believe, castle. And I decide, okay, I'm gonna try and play this pawn up. And this is a good move, and also, I guess, a dual-purpose move, because one, it either kicks this bishop or tells this bishop, hey, what are you gonna do here? And either commit yourself or get out. And two, it prepares for this b-pawn push, which is the main idea behind the Najdorf variation, which I didn't go directly into, but at the same time has reasonable ideas here. So he decides to capture instead with his knight, and I can't take the bishop here, obviously, because I'd lose my queen. So I have to recapture this knight first before I do anything, and I decide to capture with the pawn because I want to hang on to my bishop, my light squared bishop here. Try to gain space on the queen side and win a tempo with this move. So he plays back to the c4 square, kind of eyeing down this pawn here on f7, which can be a problem in some variations for black. And thinking about this move, I had a couple of different ideas here, but I wanted to liberate this bishop first of all. And with this pawn here, I was kind of not so sure I wanted to go right into a dragon again. I guess it wouldn't have been too bad, but I wanted to wait for a little bit, and I decided to just play my pawn up to e6. The main thing I was worried about was that him making this pawn push is kind of a pawn sacrifice, which I would have been almost required to capture here. If he did, that might have been even the most accurate move, because I don't want to go into that variation because I don't know how to get out of it, but had he captured here and I had to recapture with my pawn, after just, I'm going to have this awkward double pawn here with really no way to protect it. He's going to end up winning it back probably anyway. So I didn't really want that, but I thought, maybe that's not so bad. I guess I maybe should have put more thought into it first. But he didn't do that. I think he went ahead and played. No, that's not what he did. Okay, he went and played his queen over to e2, putting 2 defenders on this. And the reason he did this is this actually prevents me from playing this move right away, because if I do, he can take here with the pawn, and when I recapture with this pawn, anyway, it ends up making. Sorry, I really need to go back and forth. It ends up pinning down this pawn, so we take, whatever with all these pieces, and then I end up being stuck a piece, stuck down a pawn actually, because this pawn is pinned to my king by this queen here. And I saw that and I just thought, well, is there a way, maybe I can play this bishop out here and end up winning? But I didn't see anything, so I decided to just eliminate that pin possibility by developing my bishop here. And this is a good move too, I think, because obviously the bishop needed developed eventually, and now it opens it up where I can castle. So from here he went ahead and played f4, and this is a really aggressive move. But this, I think, was just a little perhaps premature, because this move actually caused him a lot of the problems that he had in this game. I think better would have been to maybe develop his last piece first, or something else. Just I don't think this was. I think it was a little too early for this, because now this allows me to take control of the center, and he ended up blundering later. But in any event, I think this just a little too aggressive, because I haven't even really committed to castling yet, and I have these pieces ready to just, if this area breaks up, all my pieces are still right in front of my king, ready to defend it, so I don't think this pawn storm is going to materialize into much. Alright, so I push up d5, he captures the pawn, I recapture. And from here, now I have total center control, and I've opened up space on the queen side, which is where I wanted to direct my attack to by playing these bishops out here and kind of striking them right through the center. And here he sees that he thinks he can win a pawn, but he actually can't because of this this f4 move. And maybe I should have noticed this earlier, that pawn was hanging. I actually didn't right away. I was more worried about this pin on this pawn, but here I can actually win that piece right back by coming out here, and see I'm checking the king. He has a couple different ways to try and block, but none of them really matter, because if he decides to just get this king out of the way and avoid any tactics down the line, so I go ahead and capture the piece here. And I think his best move would have been, because he's down in material, I'm not sure what his best line would have been here, maybe to just retweet the queen, or I don't know. But he just opted to trade off queens, and I don't think this helps him at all, because now he's exchanged queens down a piece, and he does have these passed pawns here that could be dangerous. They're connected and everything, but he's got a long way to go with them. So from here he plays a move. Well, this isn't such a good game, because he plays another move that's pretty inaccurate. I think he should have developed this piece or started moving these pawns or something here. But he decides to move this piece out here, kind of to take this semi-open file. I think to prevent me from coming out here, maybe. I'm not sure what the actual idea behind this move was, but I was planning on playing this move anyway, because I wanted to exchange my bishop for this knight, remove his connected passed pawns, and double his pawns at the same time. So, and by exerting this pin, he pretty much allows me to do that regardless. So, I think the best move here would have been to protect something like this. But he ends up just advancing his pawn, and he's kind of blitzing through moves right now, so I just take, he retakes, and instead of worrying about this, obviously I can't capture anyway, and castling now we're kind of getting into an end game, so I'm not so concerned about castling. I figured it'll come when it comes, and if more pieces exchange off, well, then I'll do it then. So I decided to play up here and take this outpost, which is obviously a really strong outpost because there's no piece that can really challenge my knight here. He'd have to give up another exchange to do that, and that would just be losing. Not to mention it's hitting this pawn, and there's no way to protect this pawn once this bishop comes forward out here. So this game is already lost, but just a little bit of technique to finish it up. So he decides to capture here, and this is once again a move that doesn't help him at all. I decide to recapture with the pawn, even though it closes my bishop in, to try and give myself a pass pawn here, and also it creates this completely open file. So on his next move, he decides to play this rook up to defend the pawn here, and once again, I'm still not sure why he didn't defend with the try to defend it with the bishop by playing it out here. I'm just not sure. So I castle, taking control in the open file. Not only that, but I'm threatening a back rank mate problem here on the F1 square. So sorry, it's been a while since I've done videos. So he's really got to do something about that, and I think the best move would be just to abandon this double pawn and come back here, or maybe even king over. Actually, king over would probably be best because he's getting closer towards the center, and at the same time, or even playing this pawn wouldn't be too bad because it gets it off the light square, and I don't have a dark square bishops. So any of those might be a decent option, but he plays this move. Which kind of also, it looks decent because it's opening up the back rank for his rook here. But the problem with that move is I can just go ahead and come up here and take this pawn, and that's what I played. And this not only is big trouble for him, but it also loses a piece because he can't recapture my rook because then I would mate him. And he can't defend this piece because if he did, like let's say he comes over here to defend it, I just take it anyway because once again he can't recapture. So he actually ended up resigning there, but which it was a good time to resign because it didn't really matter what he did. Say he did something like this, I just end up scooping up all the pieces one at a time. So anyway, that was a pretty good game for me. And anyway, I'll try to get some more videos going soon. Thanks for watching again, ChickenBrad. See you later.